Good afternoon, cult members. Welcome to Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
And this is going to be our trailer reaction for Napoleon. We'll get into this. Here we go. Napoleon with Joaquin Phoenix. And go.
Of course.
No doubt you've seen the chaos in the streets.
About when to start.
We must make an example, or France will fall.
What would you do if this assignment of defense was transferred to you?
I promise you brilliant successes.
All right. Yeah, yes, we know who Ridley Scott is. You don't have to tell us.
What is this costume you have on?
This is my uniform. I led the French victory at Toulon.
What is your name?
Napoleon.
As the course of my life just changed. Napoleon.
I'm destined for greatness. But those in power only see me as a sword.
I suggest you take the throne
As a king.
Shall we vote?
Is it really a boat?
This vermin has held the world hostage with his egotism and his lack of simple good manners.
Hey. You think you're great? You are just a tiny little brute that is nothing without me.
All of Europe is
Also not
uniting
wrong.
forces against me.
What's the outcome of this if you don't succeed?
Your Majesty, we are discovered.
Good. I'm the first to admit when I make a mistake. I simply
Welcome to
never
this
do.
trap.
Thanksgiving.
And in IMAX, so that's appropriate. Thoughts?
I mean, it's Ridley Scott and a historical drama fiction. I don't know a ton about Napoleon.
I know a
so-
little bit. But I find it very interesting they have not done a full-on proper Napoleon story for a very long time.
That's true. Yeah, he always pops up in other stories.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Not.
I looked at it before we did the trailer. The most recent one that came up was the Count of Monte Cristo, which was 2002. And he's a catalyst of debauchery for the Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah,
admin and
he
stuff like
pops
that.
up, but
Yeah.
he's not the theme of the movie.
And there's like some romantic comedies with Napoleon to me because Napoleon was a romantic. I mean, he was French, so of course he was romantic. Oh, right. Short Kings. Actually, he wasn't overly short. He was like 5'7" or something like that. But the story of Napoleon is very interesting. He very much thought about the consequences of war before going into it, and he always believed in fighting. If we were going to fight a war, we're not fighting it on French soil. So he always fought in Austria and Germany and England and Africa and Spain, and he went Prussia. He went somewhere else to fight the war.
Yeah.
Which is part of the reason why he was so loved, and why everybody else in the European Union then hated him.
Yeah.
And like they said, he was very ruthless, but he was ruthless for a cause. I mean, for a reason. It wasn't like he was just being ruthless to be a dick. It was, I'm going to end this fight now.
Yeah.
And but I find it interesting that I like Ridley Scott. He's one of my favorite directors. I love his version of Robin Hood, and nobody else on the planet does, except for the people in this room. but I like his take on historical events with a fictional, I won't say twist, but a fictional view of it.
Right. Well, I mean, I Napoleon's probably going to be the most documented story that he's done, right?
Yeah.
Gladiator. I mean,
Gladiator's a whole different conversation because they started that movie with 37 pages of script and they didn't know where the end was.
right, but there's no, and then Caesar went here and ate dinner, and then
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
all very, 30,000-foot view of what happened at that point in time. So it makes it very easy to just plug in your own story
Yeah.
down here on the ground. And the same thing with Robin Hood. We don't even know if Robin of Hood, is an actual person
Right.
or an amalgamation of a bunch of people.
Which is why I love that story so much.
So again,
Yeah.
you can make up kind of, I mean, there is historical stuff in that movie.
Yeah.
John, John, he was a jerk.
Yep.
He took the throne when his brother died in the war and all that. But like the basic Robin Hood story, you don't know. So Napoleon probably pretty well documented.
Very
so
well
it'll
documented,
be
yeah.
interesting to see how true to the actual historical.
I can tell you what's going to happen right now. There's going to be people who, like us, people like me. I'll speak for me right now, who has a base knowledge of Napoleon, and then there's going to be Napoleon historians, and we're going to be on opposite sides of this. This movie.
Probably. I mean, you're going to have to take some probably artistic license just to make it interesting. But
I love that they hit a lot of the facts though about what I know. Like, he was the one who led the army. He was the one that helped stop the riots in France.
Yeah, France was a little off the hook.
It was. They were. If I'm going to lead the people to freedom, and then you led the people to freedom after the French monarchy got collapsed, and everybody after that was eliminated by the people.
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
John Locke was eliminated. And
Yeah.
it was like
well, they started off with
Marie Antoinette being
beheaded.
Yeah. But I like that they start there in this trailer and then work their way to the European Union. It wasn't called the European Union, but the European Union coming together to try to defeat him. And I like that they showed him becoming king. He was talked into the idea of being made emperor.
Yeah.
And it's just like
He was a general, right? He was just a general. And
he was, yeah. I mean, he was the leader of the country. I mean, he really was. But nobody in the European Union would recognize him as the leader of France because that was still the monarchy system or whatever.
Right.
So he's like, do the whole French salute to him and said, "Fine, I'll make myself emperor."
Yeah.
And they're all like, "That's not what we're talking about."
Nobody can stop me.
But so I like that there's enough hints there, and it's Ridley Scott, so we're gonna have big, awesome battles, and you want this time period of war battle is ruthless.
Yeah.
And I want them to not shy away from that. And it's Ridley Scott; he won't.
No,
but
yeah, he won't. I mean, you saw what they can show in a trailer, right? But you know, the cannonball does horrible things to human bodies.
Yep.
So
and
there's going to be a lot of that.
That scene where he stops the riots in France and they fires the cannons into the crowd was about the only way to pacify the French people at that point in time. They were so pissed off.
Yeah.
But that's going to be a brutal scene to watch.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm excited. I'm really I knew this was coming. I think Joaquin Phoenix is the right choice for this character. You need somebody with that stoic system. Sure. That's a word.
Stoicism.
There we go. Who's very, can command a room when he walks in, but also can have that light touch when he's having his love affair and when he's being a general person and stuff like that. And so I'm really interested in what this is going to be. So let us know what you thought of this trailer and our comments about it in the idea. In the comments below, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. Be nice. Follow us on all social media. In the comments, follow us on all social media stuff. Links in the description down below. And until next time, cult members, good afternoon, good evening, and good night now.